Black Film and TV, talking to Dara Reneé and Roman Banks regarding season 2 of High School Musical. That's playing currently on Disney Plus. Uh, Welcome to Black Film and TV. Obviously, you guys are back on, or at least for you, Dara. This is the second season. Roman, you're about to be introduced. So talk to me, Dara. What are we looking for in season 2 so far?
Ooh, season 2 is a lot more of everything. I mean, more dancing, more singing, more arcs. I mean, you really get a chance to see most characters who are often, to the side shine this season, which I really love. And of course, you have the Mimi and Ricky love triangle and everything, which is absolutely going to leave you on the edge of your seat. And maybe some other love triangles are going to leave you on the edge of your seat. But I don't know. I can't say too much.
And, what's to become of this new character played by you, Roman?
Wonderful question. I mean, Howie is, well, I think the thing that I like about Howie is that, he's the first original character I've ever played. So I got to bring a lot of myself to the character. And I think he's like I think he fits right in the world of the whole High School Musical experience, in the sense of, I mean, it's difficult because I can't, there's so much I can't say, but I think he fits right in really well. And I think he stays in his own space and leaves a lot for the viewer to, wonder or guess about. And I think everything unfolds about him in such a nice and organic way. And I just can't wait for people to meet him. It was so much fun to play.
What beauty about having a weekly show is that it gives people or any audience time to invest. So rather than playing all the episodes all at once, where it's sort of like, because it's a weekly show, we can wait and say, oh, did you see about this new kid that's on the show? You can catch up, patiently, as opposed to like, oh, he appears in episode 6, which means you got to watch 1 through 5 right away, So like, right. Yeah. So then, Dara, obviously for the first few episodes before Roman shows up, you're out there, you're singing Beauty and the Beast, how many times had you seen the film, or did you have to refresh yourself before you started singing any of those songs?
Ooh, well, I grew up with Beauty and the Beast. I mean, me and my friends would always like dress up as princesses and like as the spoon and the silverware. So I was very, very familiar, and especially with the Broadway musical, I absolutely loved the soundtrack. So being able to like actually put on like a musical, even though High School Musical is absolutely iconic, we love it, but being able to put on like almost a Broadway production musical is absolutely insane when you see what we do with the tracks. So I'm so excited to just be a part of it, and I'm so grateful to be able to sing some iconic songs. I can't say which ones, but it's been absolutely a dream come true, and everyone in the cast just absolutely brings their best to the table, and I can't wait for y'all to see it.
Now, obviously, there's no way Roman's going to be on the show without singing at some point. We don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm sure at some point we're going to see him, borrow out some tunes, and we're all going to be like, oh, this brother can sing. And then they'll Google your name and goes, oh, he's got an EP. He's been doing this already. So they ain't just hiring him as an actor. How did the role come about for you?
I mean, well, thankfully, I was part of a show called Evan Hansen on Broadway for a long time. And my agent was actually in a musical, like in his past life as a dancer. He was in a musical with the creator of the show, Tim Federle. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're friends. And he mentioned me about, High School Musical, and he wants you to go in for this role. Like, he feels like you'd be good for it. And so I auditioned, and I just remember reading the sides, and I immediately thought like, wow, I see so much of myself in this character. And I love that. It happens rarely, but there's some scripts that you just know that you like instantly connect with. And that was definitely Howie for me. And I got to audition, and then I had a callback that was still virtual. It's just a self-tape. And then I got flown to LA to do a chemistry test with Dara herself, and it was really phenomenal. And then I think 5 days later, I got a call. And so it was really, so like the Evan Hansen process lasted months, and this was like 2 or 3 weeks. And so it was really refreshing to be like, oh my God, you know, after leaving a show, having another job, and then also having that job happen so much quicker than I was used to, was so wonderful.
Now, did you guys meet and during COVID, or was this done before COVID?
Before COVID.
Yes, so we filmed a portion of it before COVID, and then we took a break and decided to make sure we took all the health precautions and tried to figure out how to create a safe environment for both the cast, the crew, and everyone involved. And then we got back to it and created like about 7 of the other main episodes during COVID.
Now, Roma, did you have to catch up in terms of all of the episodes that have already aired on High School Musical?
During the process, or you mean before I went in?
Like, yeah, either during the process or after the process.
Yeah, so I watched the whole season in like 2 days before I auditioned because my agent suggested I watch like a few episodes and then I just couldn't put it down. But during the process, I recorded like 1 episode as Howie, and then like we shut down like that very day. And so in a sense, I mean, obviously it was a bummer to be shut down at all. But in a sense, I was grateful that it wasn't like in the middle of the season where like I had already started to like develop and like find out who he was. And then, because I think that would have been hard to like stop momentum. But it was largely in a process where I was still discovering like, what is this character like? You know, how does he feel about this? You know, what is it like when he interacts with this person? And so it left a lot for me to still discover when I got back to set. And I was honestly just so glad to be there. And Dara and the company period just made it such an easy learning experience and a safe space to really like explore and ask a bunch of questions. So,
you know, Dara, you've done films, you've done other projects, but whenever you do a series, you know, at least the first year, it's fun to do. At the same time, you're wondering if you're going to come back for a season 2. You did get greenlit for a season 2, so you can now be relaxed and so forth. Is that the feeling on the set, like when everybody came back for season 2, like we have another job again, and you know we're going to do something different?
Yes, I think we were really shocked that we got picked up before anyone really saw it. I mean, we were like kind of like just like glad that we got season 1 out. We weren't really expecting anything. We were like just grateful to like meet these group of people and become a family. So when we got season 2, we were like, okay, now what show are we doing? What's the tea? What's the drama? What's going on? And we don't get to read the scripts until like the week before we perform it. So it was really on the edge of our seat each week because we didn't know what was gonna happen. So yeah, I'm waiting for that season 3 greenlit. I'm like, please, Lord Jesus, let us get a season 3. So yeah, we were very comfortable, but we were still just so grateful to just see each other again.
Much like your character, which show would you granted we already know since episode 1 it's going to be Beauty and the Beast, but if you had a choice, which one would you want to do? Which show would you want to do?
Roman, you go first. Hold on.
Me? Oh shoot! I think Dara and I. It's so funny. We were talking about this like close to when season 2 wrapped, and she brought up Into the Woods, and I was just like, Into the Woods is such a magical show. Like on stage, I couldn't picture like what Disney would do with that on screen to like really like enhance it. And so like after she said that, I could not stop thinking about it. And so if there's any type of world where Into the Woods is happening, I think the cast fits that show so perfectly. And then I feel like the Disney would just like really like blow it out of proportion in the most wonderful way. And so I can't get that one off my mind.
And obviously there's been a film already, so it's always, politically speaking, it's got to be something that Disney can get their hands on.
Right.
There's enough for everybody,
And I was thinking that too, because I was like, Disney is not gonna, I don't think they would like go out of their bubble to get something. So I was
That's what I feel like.
Right. So I was like, that takes out Chicago, Dreamgirls, Pippin. So I was like, what can I do that's like fun? So I was thinking like Into the Woods, but also Hamilton. I don't know. Mainly because I want to be Angelica. So I think that's probably
a different cast to do Hamilton.
Yes, but I don't know.
That'd be insane.
In there, like we did for the melody.
Well, yeah, a melody would be fun.
Yeah.
Roman, obviously, you played on Dear Evan Hansen. You played a lot of roles. What's that feeling like knowing it's coming onto the big screens, and the trailer was just released. Did you take a look at it, and are you ready to see it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been this whole journey has just been like Dara said, like even from someone who's been in the show, like just an edge of the seat experience. Every single week, I was guessing like what's gonna happen, who's gonna do like this, who's gonna do that, who's gonna sing, and literally, I don't think there was one prediction. Like even being in the show, like I don't think there's one prediction I got right for the next episode. And so like while filming, I was on the edge of my seat, and then after filming, you're like, when's it gonna come out? And then we heard when it was gonna come out, and then the trailer dropped, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So many people are looking at it. My family's like, I think the wonderful thing is doing theater, growing up in theater, it's all based in a centralized location. So it's like, come to my high school, come to New York to see me in this. And I've got family all across the US calling, and my dad's calling me and he's like, your auntie this is gonna watch, and your grandma's so excited to watch. And people on Facebook are like, I can't wait, And so I think that's the thing I'm really grateful for, is the fact that finally I'm a part of something that extended family who doesn't have the time or the resources to make it to one of my shows, or to pay for one of my shows because Broadway is so expensive, can watch High School Musical for $7 a month on Disney Plus. And it's so wonderful. And there's so many wonderful things to see beyond me. The cast shines in everything they touch. And so I cannot wait. I'm actually getting to go home and celebrate the moment with my family.
Based on your characters, how good are you in each of the kitchen? And how good of you are in the kitchen? Like, do you know what needs to go where? Do you have cooking skills?
Dara, I'm interested to hear this.
I can microwave so well. Oh my gosh, you will not believe it. No, but I'm actually learning how to cook a little bit more on the show that I'm on, Magic Bake Off. They're really teaching me how to bake some cakes, cookies, and a lot of other things. But before that, no, I cannot whip up a pizza, but I can act like it. I sure did look at some YouTube videos, so I don't know.
For me, cooking is always ran in my family. My grandfather has his own restaurant. My aunties have their own restaurant. Both of those are in Atlanta. And so I grew up around a lot of cooking, and I always loved the thought of like, I think you can find a lot of someone's heart in cooking and what they prepare for you. And so I've always loved like cooking as an act of service. And just like, I think that's a really beautiful sentiment to share with someone, like cooking them a warm meal. And so I can hold my own in the kitchen. I'm not like, Master Chef Junior, but, I can be trusted with a good dinner for a large group for sure.
All right. Spoiler time. You can say can't answer, won't deny. 2 questions. Roman, do you get to sing? And the second one is there a romance between your characters?
Okay, so I know Tim confirmed publicly that I do get to sing in the series. So that my mouth will open and music will come out of it at some point in the show. To win, who's to say? And as far as I know, I think we're just coworkers at the pizza shop.
Okay.
Dara can comment on that, but
listen, I'm not trying to get fired, but I will say this. There is newfound relationships and there is love. I can't say whether it's self-love or with somebody else, but there is love in the air.
Could be both. Could be both.
Who knows? I cannot answer that, but I will say a lot of fun things happen this season and a lot of new things happen for a lot of new characters.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Good. People will be Googling your name. They're going to find out you have an EP. What can you say about your music?
I can say welcome. I'm glad you stumbled across me and that part of me. The wonderful thing about the show is that it bridges the 2 things I love and want to be known for, which is acting and music. And I could say that, if you like what you end up hearing on the show, and if you like the music I've already made, one, thank you for listening, and also to just stay tuned because there's so much more like that I haven't tapped into yet that I'm working on now as we speak. And so I'm just excited to keep sharing, and I'm in such wonderful company. We got Joshua Bassett, we got Olivia Rodrigo, we got Dara who's making her own music. And so it's such a wonderful creative hub of a show. Like seriously, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, I could not be on a better show for what I love to do in my own right and in my own career. And I hope to share more of that with fans and, watchers alike soon.
And Dara, I'll let you answer this last one. Obviously, there's the audience that watched it years ago. There's a newfound audience, but for those who are catching up to it now, what's a good reason? We've got so much programming now, obviously in the last year, that people have spent time at home. Even though theaters are starting to come back, people are still catching so much programs at home at any given time. What's a good reason to start catching this show?
Ooh, well, of course, everyone loves a good musical and they love good productions and they love good drama and good triangles of love and just situations. High School Musical just adds that touch of nostalgia. So it brings you to your childhood, and it's good for all ages and all communities. And it just shows you, different parts of theater and what teenagers are going through now and how to deal with things in that setting of high school and how things are crazy and aren't always going to go your way, and you just got to learn through it. So I would say for all age groups, if you want to take a trip down memory lane or you just want to just feel like someone relates to your experience, watch High School Musical.
Guys,
good answer.
Fun talking to you. Let's keep it going week after week. We'll be seeing your characters develop and grow and hear and sing and see what's going on next. Have fun, whatever you're doing, and we'll talk down the road.
Thank you so much.
Guys. Appreciate it.